it's just the system or if it's just Sunday in general. So normally when you go to church, at least for me, I can't speak of everybody else. Um, it's not relaxing because I do a lot of stuff, but it's also not really stressful. It's more like you have a routine, you do the routine, and you listen and you do what you need to do, and you move on. You know, it's fellowship time. You get to hang out with people. You get to talk to people that you're close with. You get to um, spend some time in God's presence. Da, 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 all this stuff. Okay. But lately, what I've realized is church makes me ticked off. Ticked off because I see things going on, and I think to myself, why are we letting this happen? Why are we letting this go this way? What is it about church and a group of believers coming together that is making me so anxious and angry? Big question mark there, okay? Um, and it could be we live in a very non-church world, okay, non-God world. There's a lot of people out there that kind of says, live the way you want to live, do what you want to do, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of people out there that says, hey, live the way I think God thinks you should live, and doesn't matter what you think. And then there's, I think, people in the middle, which is probably 80% of them. Okay, the problem is that other 20% are so polarizing that it makes the 80% feel like nothing. It's kind of like the world we live in today for other things. There's right wing crazy, left wing crazy, and then everybody else. And unfortunately, in the world we live in today, you have to pick sides. There is no middle ground. So, going to church, it's become stressful for me. And it's not stressful because, oh, I hate the people, or, oh, the message isn't resonating. When I go there, I just feel like I want to yell and scream and throw things and just tell people how dumb they're being. Now, they're not really being dumb. It's just, I always thought church, following Christ, was about the message, the plan, okay? So your service doesn't matter if you've got a piano player, a drum player, and 4 guitarists and 12 vocalists. It doesn't matter what you have for worship team. It doesn't matter how someone looks. It doesn't matter how, oh, that music's too loud. Oh, that music's not fast enough. That doesn't matter. What matters is the message, right? The message is Christ loves you. He died for your sins. Accept, forgive, yay. Okay. Very Barney style of it. But lately I feel like everyone that I see as a believer, we are kind of like losing that. We're becoming out of touch. We're becoming so focused on, we got to make sure this works. We got to make sure this is pretty. We got to make sure this appearance is good. We got to make sure that we look good. Okay, I am not a perfect person. I'm not a perfect follower of Jesus. I am not a perfect dad. I'm not a perfect husband, perfect grandpa. I'm nothing perfect, okay? I never intended I try, but I'm not going to do it. But lately what I've noticed is there's a lot more people at church pretending to be perfect, pretending that they got it all together. They don't, all right? And when those people do that, I question myself, because I'm thinking to myself, okay, they're saying they're perfect. I know they're not. Am I wrong for saying they're not perfect and calling them out, or should I just leave it alone and let God deal with it? See, my problem is I want to call them out. I want to say, hey, yo, you're not this way. Stop acting like you're perfect. Stop acting like you got it all together. You don't. But the last time I did something like that, it caused a lot of turmoil. The last time I really did that was probably 2012, 2013. I went to a Bible study for men, and these guys were talking about how they're being persecuted and under the Obama administration, and how we were being picked on as Christians, and I just lost it. And I'm like, I've been to places where Christians die. Okay, you're talking about, a Democrat. You're talking about so little. Oh my God, he might take away our freedom. Just so you know, that was 12, 13 years ago. You're still allowed to have a Bible. You're still allowed to pray. You're still allowed to go to church. There's no Gestapo coming down to close a building. Um, and I called them out. I said, hey guys, you're stupid. And I never went back to that men's Bible study. I also don't go to that church anymore, that one, because I kind of felt like, okay, I can't. Church I go to now, I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm in leadership, but I'm in charge of things. Okay. And with that, I see a lot of people who come to church early, they do what they, think they need to do, and they act all perfect. But then you see them in the real world and you see that they're not. But when when you see them on Sunday, they're like, oh my God, I'm perfect. Everything's great. Not everything's great. Okay. Pretending that it's great isn't going to make it great. Pretending that everything is perfect isn't going to make it perfect. And I think we're losing touch with that on both sides of the world. Okay. And I hear it and I ruffle a lot of feathers because I say things that maybe don't come across right. But I see on social media, you have Christians who say the government's coming for you. They want to shut down churches. Then you have LGBTQ activists saying the government's coming for us. They want to shut us down. You have car people who drive gasoline cars. The government's coming for us. They want us to drive electric. Then you have electric driving people who says, the government's coming for us. They want us to go back to cars. They don't like the environment. Everything is about the government coming to try to shut us down. Okay. Is the world perfect? No. Is our government perfect? No. Would the government like to shut certain things down? Absolutely. It ain't happening. Okay. Trump said he was going to get rid of Obamacare. The Affordable Care Act is still there. Okay. You don't have to, it's not as many bells and whistles still there. They talk about, Obama was talking about how, he was going to have a big, beautiful healthcare plan and no one's going to lose their coverage, and people lost their coverage. George Bush said no new taxes, and there was taxes. Other George Bush said there was weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. There wasn't. Joe Biden said Afghanistan, we were going to pull out and it was going to be great. No one was going to get screwed up. Didn't happen. Okay. Our government is not trying to kill us or to shut us down or to destroy us. Our government is run by a bunch of idiots. Okay. Idiots who think they know better and they don't. Most of them, not all of them, most of them have done this for so long, they couldn't tell you a good idea if it slapped them in the face. Okay. Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, these guys have been in office forever. We have senators and Congress people, House Representative people dying because they're so old. We always talk about term limits. We always talk about age limits. Some people say, well, you shouldn't be able to vote for president unless you're old enough to be president. That's 35. And that's segregating all these people out. Okay. I think you also shouldn't be able to run for president if you're old enough to collect Social Security. Okay. I think there's a 30-year window, 30 to 35, 65. If you're not in that age group, you shouldn't run. Now, is there exceptions to every rule? Probably, but not right now. We have a almost 80-year-old man running the country. Before that, we had an 80-year-old man running the country. Before that, we had Trump again. Before that, it's like Obama was young, Clinton was young, JFK was young. The second Bush was younger, younger than the first Bush. We have a whole bunch of people running our country that are old and decrepit, and they act like they're perfect. Brings me back to the church philosophy. Okay. If you go by the Bible, and I'm not saying you have to, but the Bible basically says Jesus was like 30 when he started his mission. And by the time he was 33, he was done. His disciples, his followers, the guys, they weren't 45, 50, 60 years old. They were young, right? John, Peter, Paul, all those guys, young guys. Okay. And when Jesus was done 3 years later, it's not like they aged magically and they got old. Okay. They started writing the books, they got older. John wrote books at the end of his life and he was really old, but he had already lived through all of it. And the book he wrote was like 5 chapters. We're not talking a huge amount of time here because he was older and he wasn't laying down something crazy. He was basically saying, hey, Jesus said this. I was there. I heard it. I saw it. I did it. 60 years ago, I did this. So simple, guys. Let's do it. He wasn't saying, hey, I want to be an elder of a church. He's like, I don't want to run a church. He's like, hey, guys, just send out a loving message. Here's what's going on. Nowadays, in churches I see, we can't see the word elder without seeing old. Okay. Elder should mean someone who has life experience, yes. Someone who is a follower of the church or follower of Christ's teachings, yes. Someone who understands God's path and how to get there. That's it. To me, that's it. Now, is there a huge book? Is there like steps? Probably. But my philosophy is, hey, do you follow Christ? Do you understand the rules? And are you willing to do it and willing to make hard decisions in the best interest of the body of Christ? Boom. Right? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I think we've lost some of that also. I think now sometimes we put people as elders because they've been to church for a long time, or they're old, or they sound like they've got it all together, or they've been in charge at other churches so they know what they're doing. Jesus picked his disciples. They were fishermen, tax collectors. They didn't have it all together. Peter, I'll build my church. Peter, you're the rock I'll build my church on. Then Peter denies Christ. We're not talking best guys. We're talking guys who screwed up a lot. Christ forgave and they worked through it. And then they realized towards the end of their lives, hey, I screwed up a lot, but Christ still cared about me and maybe I should tell others. It isn't like the day Jesus got crucified, all of a sudden Peter's like, I need to go tell the world. No, he hid. He hid in a room with the other guys and basically said, hey, we're going to hide here because we're afraid we're going to die. That's what they did. And I just don't get it. In today's church, I get anxious a lot because I feel like, okay, I've been doing this church thing, God thing for a long time, right? Why do I not have it all together? These guys do. I don't have it all together because I'm a normal human being. So normal human being means I screw up. I screw up a lot. But as a normal human being, I try to learn from my mistakes. Now, sometimes I don't. Never, I'm not perfect. Again, I mean, if I was perfect, my wife would be always, happy-go-lucky and everything would work out great and people would come to me all the time and everything would just be spectacular. But it's not. But I'm okay with that. I'm not afraid to show my inadequacy. I'm not afraid to show that, hey, sometimes I'm an idiot. I'm not afraid to show that things frustrate me, things anger me, things make me want to throw things at people. But I feel like in today's church and today's world in general, we don't want to show that. We don't want to show that there are some Republicans or right-wing people that are just angry, racist crackheads, okay? They're just horrible people. We don't want to show that there's some left-leaning liberals that are just horrible. Everything is race, sex, gender, sexuality, and everything else. We can't just say, hey, you're a horrible person because I can't say you're a horrible person because I haven't lived your truth. I can't live your truth. And I don't care about your truth. I don't. I do my best. I care when I can, but I can't live your life. You can't live mine. And for either side to tell me that I don't understand them and, it's much more complicated and much more nuanced and I need to understand, I can't. Okay. I will support and love anyone in my family or anyone that I know, no matter what their lifestyle is, as long as it's healthy and safe. Do I agree with it? Not fully. Do I understand it? No. Will I love and support you if you're healthy and safe? Yes. And I think that's as close to Christ as I can be. Christ still loved Peter, even though Peter denied 3 times. Christ didn't even hate Judas, if you think about it. He said, go do what you need to do. I know what you're going to do. Go do it. He didn't say, hey, guys, that's the guy. Go get him. He didn't do that. He said, hey, listen, do your thing. I get it. I get where you're at. I understand where you're at. I understand that it's difficult. Go do what you need to do. When Jesus went and got Saul, turned him into Paul, he wasn't like, hey, Saul, you suck because you've been persecuting my people, and I'm going to bring you over here so people can kill you. No, he said, hey, stop. Your new name, your new title, this is what you're going to do. And even when the church was battling between Peter and Paul and battling on which way they were going to follow Christ, no one said, Jesus didn't come down or during the 40 days. He didn't come and say, hey, everyone, listen, Peter's right. Do it his way. Or Paul's right. Do it. He knew that one was talking to the Jewish old school and one was talking to the Gentile new school. And he knew the only way to get the message out to both was to allow 2 different voices say the same message but in different ways. It's kind of like when you're a parent. You have a mom and you have a dad. Okay. The mom's voice is one voice. Dad's voice is a different one, right? Well, mom and dad can say the same thing. Like I can say something to my kids that my wife will say, and all of a sudden it's magical because I said it. Or the other way around. I'll tell my son something and then my wife says it and he hates when I say it, but he loves it when she says it. That's just the way it is. We all have a voice that reaches certain people, but not everybody. Jesus did that when he selected Paul and Peter. Okay, Peter did one side, Paul did the other. Everyone, it worked out. That's why we're here today, right? Think about from that one pinnacle moment of Paul and Peter, the Roman Empire changed. Constantinople happened. The Roman Empire split. 2 churches, 2 popes, whole shebang bang. Martin Luther, Protestant Reformation, the Crusades, exploring the world, changing the world. New world where we are now. Governments fell, governments grew, money fell, money grew again. The plague, world wars, everything started when those 2 guys split and said, hey, I'll take these guys, you take these guys. Did they agree on anything? No. They were like 2 brothers. They didn't agree on anything, but they agreed that they loved Jesus. And that was the point. Again, I feel like we're losing that. I feel like today, a lot of times when I go to church, when I go anywhere with believers, there's a group that believes this way, group that believes this way, and we can't coexist. We have to fight and squabble and disagree. Well, it's about money. No, it's about love. No, it's about faith. No, it's about healing. No, it's about this. Simple message for y'all. Okay, ready? If you're a follower of Christ or not, here's my simple message to you. Okay, ready? Super simple. All that other crap doesn't matter. Doesn't matter about the money. It doesn't matter about, what Jesus can do for you. It doesn't matter what healing you get. It doesn't matter about what, music you listen to. It doesn't matter about what book you read, what movie you watch, even who and why you love somebody. Here's a simple message. Ready? God loved you. Even though we are stupid, dumb, idiotic, and just asinine people. We were stupid for a very long time. God sent his son. Okay. It's kind of like me saying, Jeremiah, go to the world. Okay. And then he said, okay, listen, son, listen, they're going to kill you because you're telling them to love one another. They're going to kill you because you're going to say, stop doing this stupid crap that makes no sense and go back to the OG. The OG, love one another. Love your God, all your heart, love one another. Boom. Simple. All the rest works out. Okay. Everyone's like, well, honor thy father, thy mother. If you love the God, your God with all your heart, love one another. That will work out. Don't steal. Don't murder somebody. Don't covet someone's wife. Love one another. Love your God. All works out, right? All works out. If you follow those two simple things, everything else works. Now, have I stolen? Yes. Have I coveted other things? Yes. Have I done bad things to other human beings? Yes. Am I happy about any of it? No. I screwed up a lot. I've done a lot of bad things. I fall on my knees and I say, Jesus, I'm sorry. I go to the people and I try to apologize. If they accept my apology, great. If they don't, I gave a real apology. I gave a heartfelt feel. I did my best. It's up to them now, not up to me. Do you think Peter was like, oh God, I denied you 3 times. I'll leave. No, he's like, Jesus, forgive me. I screwed up. I mean, Timothy, show me where the nails hit. Dude, you see in Jesus in front of you. You know he died. He said he was coming back. He didn't listen, but well, prove it. Prove you're Jesus, not some clone. Okay? Simple. Love one another. Love your God with all your heart. All this other bureaucratic baloney doesn't matter. And I think we've lost that. I have run into way too many people in church structures, in the world structures, that have lost the love one another. Okay? You don't have to be a follower of Jesus. But listen, do you love your neighbor? Even when, okay, so say your neighbor, I don't know, say your neighbor has a sign that says, we respect science. We look at facts. Everyone matter. Black lives matter. Black, and you think to yourself, I don't believe in all that. Do you go and burn their sign down, or you go, hey, let's chat. What's your day like? How are you doing today? Are you polite? Are you nice? Are you cordial? Are you just a royal pain in the butt? There are people on both sides that will burn flags, will burn signs, will throw rocks, will just be hateful online. Why? Because their side is the only right side. Love one another. Love God. And if you don't do the God part because I don't believe there's a God, love one another. Treat people like you want to be treated. If you do that, magically, things get better. Less war, less famine, less death, less carnage. That's the simple thing. So I don't know about you. When I go to church, I'm hoping to be less anxious. But until I think I see a change, until I see people living the way Jesus said to live. Not perfect, okay? I'm not saying, hey, you have to be perfect and glowing. Are you trying to be a good neighbor and a good believer in God? Or you don't believe in God? Are you trying to be a good neighbor? Are you trying to be respectful of others? Are you trying to care about one another? That's it. Quick, simple, easy, right? Love one another. Love God. And until I see the church turn that way more, and unfortunately, I'm sorry, I feel like it's losing that a little bit. I think my anxiety and my stress going is not going to change. I don't think it's the church I go to. I think it's the church as a whole. Doesn't matter if you're Catholic, Protestant, Jewish. All of these guys right now, I think in the world we live in with a political climate and what's going on in the world, I think that's lost. And we need to get back. So tomorrow's day 11. We can do this. Also, today's my wife's birthday. Happy birthday, my love. I know you don't watch these, but maybe someone will tell you that I talked about you. Okay? Till tomorrow, guys.